Hey boys and girls, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today we're taking a look at Metalhead as part of a special series of vintage Ninja Turtle toys we're taking a look at all month long. I've got my friend Mike from the Breaux show here, and my buddy Nick.
From Nick.
My favorite turtle from when I remember as a kid is Metalhead. I was a G.I. Joe kid. That was my toy line. He just reminded me of like a bat from the G.I. Joe line, and he's a robotic turtle. Krang made him to infiltrate the turtle lair. It does come with a backpack, and the thing that's weird is it's supposed to be a bad guy, and the back has a picture of like him homing in on something, but it looks like a foot soldier.
Totally.
Right.
So I don't know why he would be focusing on a foot soldier when he's supposed to be on the same side as a foot soldier. Comes with a little radar dish that comes off. His backpack does come off. And he comes with, is this a drill?
I've always kind of wondered that. I, as a kid, pretended it was a nunchuck. It has that drill bit looking thing, but I thought maybe that was a gear inside it. It's got like a rod with the two sticks, so to me it was a nunchuck. And you can plug that into his backpack, and I would sometimes pretend that he could use that like a helicopter blade, but you can also pull his arm off at the wrist and plug it into his wrist, and that's when I would pretend it was a nunchuck.
That's what I always did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can't really see it, but it's pretty cool that they put a lot of detail in this guy.
He has a ton of detail.
Yeah.
His belt has spark plugs on the one side, and it has a grenade and an oil can on the other side. So they really loaded him up with stuff. I like to army build these guys because, again, I'm a G.I. Joe guy as well. So I just pretend they're robots, which he really is. So I only build Metalhead. You guys remember him at all?
One of the cool things for him was he was one of the first figures I remember as a kid that had light piping.
Yes.
So you could actually put him underneath a light and his eyes would glow red.
And you can see his brain.
Yep,
basically.
exactly.
The red is his brain. So that's a cool thing that they did.
The only figure I remember having before him that had light piping was Darkseid from the Superpowers toy line. He has the light piping eyes.
Yeah.
And because that became really big later in the 90s with the Power of the Force Star Wars figures, R2-D2 and the Jawas all had the light piping in their heads. But I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah. It just stuck out too, and I love the fact that, like Nick said, it's a robot.
Yeah.
I'm a big robot guy. Transformers fan myself. That's what I really grew up on, mainly before Turtles or anything else. And he was just a cool figure. I forget why I thought it liked the character, but I just liked his design. And the back metal design on him too.
Yeah.
But he just seemed cool. And he had the same stance as some of the Turtles with the one leg put up. Like they did.
It's a really great representation of those original Ninja Turtle figures, just in like a blocky robot version.
Yep. The difference between the cartoon version and the toy version is in the cartoon, his chest would come down, and I think it would fire missiles.
Okay.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
His chest would come down and he would fire missiles out of it. Of course, they're not going to do that for the toy line, but everything else is pretty much, how it was in the cartoon. And I don't know how many times he did show up in the cartoon. It might have only been that one.
It might just be that one episode. A lot of those characters were one and done. It's amazing though, for a series that had like 65 episodes a season or whatever it had a ton of episodes, that they didn't reuse characters more often, because every year they release a dozen figures.
Yeah.
And half of those are just versions of the Turtles. Yeah. You would think they would bring people in multiple times, but it was pretty uncommon. There's just a lot of Foot Soldier, Krang, Shredder, Bebop, Rocksteady episodes.
And then on top of that, you had to wait until the Toon Turtles to be able to get an Irma and the Boss.
Yeah, why did they wait so long?
For those guys, because they were always on the show.
I wanted Byrne and Byrne and all those guys as a kid because they were in every episode. That happens a lot in cartoons though. Like, Prince Adam's parents. We got Randor at the very end, but never got Marlena.
Right.
Those characters, I always wonder. They act like, oh, kids are gonna buy them, they're not the action characters, but they're in every episode. And what do kids do? They reenact the stories they've seen on TV. So It always blew my mind they didn't put those guys out early.
And they did reintroduce him in the 2012
Yes.
Metalhead. He was not vac metalized.
No.
He was just painted exactly like a regular turtle.
Yep.
And his hand just had like a little blast, like a red blast.
Yeah.
That you fit through his hand.
Spring-loaded
Yeah.
missile. That was a fun version of him.
Yeah, because he was actually friends with Mikey at
Yeah.
one point, and he actually saved all the turtles, and he was gone. Like, he sacrificed himself to save the turtles in that show.
They did such a good job, like, taking the vintage figures, reinventing them somehow just slightly different, just a slight twist to make them feel new and original, but, like, still capture the essence. Like, you look at him, and you right away know it's Metalhead.
Correct.
You know, it looks just like a robot turtle. Like before.
Yeah, some of the bad guys,
They went off the deep end with some of them, but he was a
But
great...
you can always tell the turtles, and you can always tell a lot of the good guys.
Yeah.
But, you know, some of the bad guys, you really had to, know them all.
Beep,
So,
bop, pork.
Cowabunga, dude. Beep, bop, pork, beep, bop.
And then, of course, oh, I'm not going to bring it away. Not going to happen on my watch. But yeah.
cool figure.
I touched your toy, I'm sorry. Okay.
Alright, in the comments down below, let us know your thoughts or memories about Metalhead. Thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous toy review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out other videos.